Okay.
Yeah, to add on to that, I feel like it's more because, oh my God, I could pull Drake versus like, oh my God, I want Drake.
Okay.
It's more of like, if this high status is attracted to me, I get validation through that.
Sure.
That's like imagine like a supermodel comes up to you and she's like super into you. Like, wouldn't you be into her because she's pretty? Yes. But you'd also get the validation that a supermodel, like Cindy Crawford, is into you.
Some of them supermodels be
You wouldn't
goofy
get
looking.
any validation?
Fucking lie.
It would be validation, yes, but like you wouldn't look twice at them for like a relationship. One of those girls who's just been around all the time.
Exactly.
Wait, but so just to finish my point here. Now, if you do the reverse, right? Let's say like, let's put Beyonce in a club, and then you have like a 21-year-old like stunning girl, but who's got like 100 followers on Instagram, broke, no money, no singing chops, but she's like extremely beautiful. I would argue most, and assume Beyonce is single, right? Most of the guys in that club, despite Beyonce's insane status and success and wealth, most guys would pursue the beautiful 21-year-old nobody over Beyonce.
Yeah. And I'd say
Over Beyonce?
and
Over Beyonce.
no.
way.
Listen,
all guys
listen.
rich women?
No.
Nope.
They don't like, and it's also because of her status. That's a headache for us. I don't want a girl who's out there in the bright lights and like on like shooting music videos all the time and traveling all the time.
Well, then that's insecurity.
No way.
Yeah,
That's you being insecure.
Why is it insecure?
Why do you have a problem with a woman being in the spotlight? And why does that take away your spotlight?
It's not about taking away my spotlight. It's just the fact that you want a
Takes away from
humble,
your
modest
nurture.
woman. You don't want a woman who's running around and just out in the streets all the time and traveling all the time. You want a woman who's kind of a part of your frame rather than doing her thing all the time.
So you want
We
her to
look
be
for
a part of
different
your
things.
life versus having like her own life.
Absolutely, because one day she's going to have children, and I want her to focus on the children.
I
I don't
see.
want her to be focusing on career. I don't want her to be focusing on travel, anything like that. I want her to be focusing on children and family.
I guess
So
that's
you want
just
her to just sit home, or you want her to
Preference
be
for
like a
him.
working
yeah.
woman?
See, I think
Not
it's
me.
funny when people say things like, "Do you want her to just sit home?" Do you think that that's like an innocuous task, having children?
No, I didn't say that. I'm just saying, like, you said, like a girl going out. So if a girl is going on work, then also people gonna look at her, you know?
Yeah. So I
That's
wouldn't
what I'm
look
saying,
for
like,
that.
You
Yeah.
want a girl to be just sitting like being a housewife, or a girl being like out working?
No, housewife. Yeah.
Housewife.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Well, I know it's weird because you're looking at it through the prism of a woman. You're looking at it as a woman who wants a man to be working, whereas when we look at women, it doesn't really matter to us. If you're not,
And what if she wanna work?
if she wants to work, she can.
But
Absolutely.
then they're gonna be same problem, the insecurities and everything. Like,
What do you
she
mean
gonna work-
insecurities?
That's what you said. She gonna go out and a lot of people gonna see her and same
Oh,
insecurities.
look, I'm not talking about seeing you from day to day. I'm talking about being a celebrity. That would be just a headache. I wouldn't
if
want
she is
that.
beautiful, I think then also it's got problem at the work too. If she is beautiful,
Well, look,
she can take a
ideally,
man from anywhere.
ideally, what you'd like is a woman who just works part-time but then focuses on the kids. But if she's got something she's passionate about, that's a good thing. You want them to have hobbies and to be interesting and have lots of interests. But you don't necessarily want them to be working 9 to 5 and going every day to work, because then it neglects the children, and the children have to go to childcare.
So you want like a part-time job for her, and that's okay for you, right?
A part-time job would be okay, but ideally not.
So it really is a turnoff if a woman like wants like a tedious job, like a time-consuming job, or a job where she's in the spotlight.
Why would she want that?
Why would you want that?
What do you mean?
She has a right to, like, she can.
I know she's I know she's got a right to, but why would you want that though? If your husband earns enough money for you to not have to go to work, why would you want to go to work if your husband says you don't have to work?
Well, for me, I want to pursue a career in something that I'm passionate for. For example, like in the beginning, I told you guys I wanted to study immunology and become a professor.
Yeah.
It takes a lot of time, that's time consuming. But that's what I'm passionate about. And, like, that's what I want to do. Like, I have so much passion for this in this lifetime. And I understand men would feel the same. I would feel like
that's
they feel
good
the
though.
same way.
That's your prerogative, and that's no problem. But you guys were looking around like I was strange because I said I wanted a woman who didn't want to have a career.
Mm-hmm.
Why is my preference strange but yours is not?
Because I think it suppresses a woman's urges. But if you find a woman...
Do you think that a woman has an urge to have children and to raise those children?
Yes.
Okay, so I don't think it suppresses the urges. I think it frees her to have children.
I want to add to this, and I do want to say I have no issue if women want to pursue a career. I don't object to it. I think I don't think Jake does either. I think, but from a dating perspective, and I kind of stepped away there for a second, I don't think a woman's career, her ambition, how much money she makes, for me, and I think for perhaps a lot of men, I don't think most men really find it more attractive. Now, I do want to just add a caveat here, so you don't think I'm a raging asshole. I'm very much in favor of women, for example, going into STEM. I actually think it's a very useful career path because, for example, take cancer, for example, or take various diseases that we don't have solutions to yet. I think we should be throwing all of our intellectual vigor at these problems, whether that is a man, women, or both. I think we should be using exploiting is not the right term. Well, we should be exploiting the intellectual power of everyone that we can to solve these problems, which I do think eventually will have a solution. I think everyone here has probably known somebody who's had cancer or has a family member who's had cancer or some sort of disease. So I'm very much in favor, actually, of women getting into STEM so we can tackle these various ailments that people eventually come across. But from a purely romantic perspective, I don't think men really care all that much about a woman's income or her success.
I'd care more about her having interests, thing that she's passionate about. And if she's running a little business that's operating at a loss and that keeps her happy and interested, I'm happy with that. But having a 9-to-5 job while you're trying to raise children, for me, it wouldn't be something that I'd like, because you'd want them to be focused on the children. And I think that a lot of guys have that preference, but they're sort of not allowed to say it these days, because then they get all the women who jump down their throat and say, "Oh, you want us to be, chained up to an oven?" No, there are a lot of women out there who hear that and think, "Yes, I would love to do that. I would love to just be a mother, love to stay home." But then there's always this reaction when we say that, where people sort of, especially, no offense, but women who consider themselves feminists, they get like up in arms about it. And there's a lot of women who love that, who want that. So.
Thank you, Super Jim Photography, for the gift of 10 subs on Twitch. Thank you.
So, like, when a woman is pregnant to the first year of the baby, still she feeds the baby. I got it. She can stay home and she needs the proper care, and kids need that to be mom to be around. But I think it should be on the man too, equally taking care of the kids.
No, not during child rearing. Not during the infancy of the child.
Why do you
Because
think
the
that?
child's attached to its mother. It's biology. Child needs its mother's teat for
I got
milk.
it. For 1 year, a baby is feeding. Okay, the mom has to be close, but I think it's equal responsibility. It kids
Look,
of you together.
Put it this way: do you see what's happening in the schools these days?
What's going on? I'm teaching.
Do you see the kinds of things that they're teaching in schools these days,
What they are
or in
teaching?
preschools? They've got all kinds of different nefarious flags hanging up around the preschools where they're indoctrinating little kids into different ideologies. Okay, so if you're somebody who has certain conservative values, like I do not want my kids being shipped off. I want them to have my values. So I want them to be at home with my wife, potentially even being homeschooled, depending on how bad this stuff gets.
You didn't get my point. I'm trying to say is you are reducing her working hours because you want her to focus on kids. But I think
I'm not
your
reducing her.
equal-
Listen, I'm not reducing her working hours. She won't want to work. Do you think that that's crazy that a woman
Can I
wouldn't want
speak
to
to
work?
that?
And there's nannies too that can stay home.
No, I don't
with
want a nanny
you.
raising my kid. Why would I want a nanny raising my kid?
I mean, I don't
Yeah.
either.
I think there's a complete honesty to that. I
saying.
think I used to, a few years ago, or the last maybe 2 years, I would have been this more, I still wouldn't call myself feminist, but I had a wall up against men, and I was a little angry about some things that I went through. And so I was like, I'm independent. I can be very independent. I have been for the last few years. I've been by myself, been doing my own thing, taking care of myself. And it wasn't until this year that that is flipping for me, and that I have realized that I have worn myself out. I don't want to be like this anymore. I mean, I want to be able to take care of myself, and now I know I can take care of myself, but I do want that
Well, I mean,
to be
once you
able to
get-
go into our feminine is to be able
Once you get a
to
little
be
bit
taken
older,
care of.
towards the wall that they call it, that's when you start seeking masculine guidance more.
Yeah,
And
it
you'll
is
start
interesting that
seeking
it
now.
kind of is flipping, that it
Yeah.
used to be that way, and
But
then
the
it
reason
went
why
very
is
feminine forward, and it is kind of
the
going
reason why
back
it is that
into
way though is because
care.
the indoctrination is so vast that it's like you're fighting me about saying that you're going to reduce your wife's working hours.
I'm not fighting with you. Very first thing is like, I'm
Listen,
just putting my opinion. Like,
no, but
what
you're saying to me you're going to reduce her working hours.
No, that's
yeah,
what
as
you
if
said.
like that's
You
a bad
want her
thing.
to, no, it's a very basic thing. Like I would say, kid needs like both mom and dad both. You want a mother to take care of the kids and focus on them, on the values. They should not feel alone. Everything, cultural value, whatever you want to put in the kids. But I think it's from the both side. It should be from the both side, not only like from the mother. It should be like from the father as well.
It's the
Equal
father's job to
time.
provide for his family.
But yeah, she's
the
working
emotional
too.
support of the child and the
That's
love
why-
of the child needs to come from the mother.
That's what you think.
That's what.
That's just
you
like
think.
one
Yeah,
opinion.
Jake.
Women can earn too.
I guess-
That's
I
just
guess-
what you think. Like,
That's what you think, Jake.
I guess
Maybe-
throughout history from time immemorial is all wrong, and it's actually the women who are the providers after all, and men
We
are
are
the
not
nurturers.
saying that it's equal. Like you have a wife, or like I have a partner. So I want to get married when I will be in the equal status. Like I will be having a good job, or my business is good. Whatever.
Would you want to work full time when you're pregnant?
No, I
Okay,
didn't say
well,
that.
there you
Listen
go.
to me first. What I'm trying to say.
So, well, you're not equal though, because your husband is going to be the provider. If you
That's
can
what
be
I am
pregnant,
saying. Like at what time when there is no equality, I'm saying you can't be. You are not pregnant. That's why you have to go out and.
exactly. That's why
Yeah.
the man needs
But
to be
what
the
I'm
provider.
saying is after that, take care of the baby together.
What if you want to have 3 babies?
So what?
So then the man has to be the provider, because you're going to take time out.
If I take it on me, I'm not giving birth to 3 kids. I'm gonna be stick to like 1 or 2. Then what?
Okay. All right.
You can put a
I think
hypothetical-
it's equal.
Couple more questions here.